Penguin Random House Audio presents Noël Coward on and in Theatre by Noël Coward, edited and with commentary by Barrie Day. Read for you by Barrie Day and Chukwudi Iwuji. To the Master. Who else? Prologue. What's past is prologue. Shakespeare, The Tempest.
The theatre still spells magic for many millions of people, and that magic should be a source of deep pride to all those who are privileged to serve in it. 1961. The theatre should be treated with respect. The theatre is a wonderful place, a house of strange enchantment, a temple of illusions. The primary purpose of the theatre is to amuse, not to reform, improve, or edify people. I write what I wish to write. Later on, the world can decide if it wishes to. There will always be a few people, anyhow, in every generation who will find my work entertaining and true. Artistically, it is very much better to make a suggestion rather than a statement. Helen, the great thing in this world is not to be obvious over anything. The Vortex, 1924. If you were to put me on a stage with Laurence Olivier, John Gielgud, and Ralph Richardson, they would be acting me off the stage and out of the auditorium, but everyone in the audience would be looking at me. When I was 21, I was ambitious, cheerful, and high-spirited. I had never heard of the death wish, and I was blissfully unaware that I belonged to a dying civilization. Today, this dubious implication is pitched at me from all directions. Despair is the new religion, the new mode. It is in the books we read, in the music we hear, and far too often in the plays we see. Well, I am no longer 21. I still have no preoccupation with the death wish. I am still ambitious, cheerful, and I hope not offensively high-spirited. And I am still unaware that I belong to a dying civilization. If I do, there is really nothing to be done about it. So I am going to press on with my life as I like living it, until I die of natural causes or an atom bomb blows me to smithereens. So far as I am concerned, posterity isn't of any frightful significance. I think if it were, I'd become self-conscious and wouldn't be able to work at all. I could no more sit down and say, now I'll write an immortal drama, than I could fly. And anyway, I don't want to. I have no great or beautiful thoughts. 1931. First I was the enfant terrible, then the bright young thing. Now I'm a tradition. I've always prided myself on my capacity for being just one jump ahead of what everybody expects of me. With my usual watchful eye on posterity, I can only suggest to any wretched future biographer that he gets my daily engagement book and from that fills in anything he can find, and good luck to him, poor bugger. Diary, 1969. How invaluable it would be, if just once, just for a brief spell, I could see myself clearly from the outside as others saw me. How helpful it would be, moving so continually across the public vision, to know what that vision really observed, to note objectively what it was in my personality that moved some people to like and applaud me, and aroused in others such irritation and resentment. How salutary it would be to watch the whole performance through from the front of the house, to see to what extent the mannerisms were effective, and note when and where they should be cut down. Future indefinite. Noël is the enfant gâté of the theatre. At his birth, the two godmothers sat over his cradle. The benevolent one gave him one superb gift. The malevolent crone tossed in a handful of gifts almost as good and disappeared with a cackling laugh. He is aware of these gifts and feels that he must exploit them all. That is the trap she laid. This parable is just my Victorian way of saying, that I don't think he will ever quite fulfill his great promise if he doesn't curb his versatility. Dame Marie Tempest.
Introduction. The theatre, a temple of illusions. What it most emphatically is not, and never will be, is a scruffy, illiterate, fumed oak drill hall serving as a temporary soapbox for political propaganda. The primary function of the theatre is to amuse, not to reform, improve, or edify people. I have a slight reforming urge, but I rather cunningly kept it down. I will accept anything in the theatre, provided it amuses or moves me, but if it does neither, I want to go home. I believe the curtain should go up at 8 o'clock and be down again 2.5 hours later or thereabouts. If you're going to break the rules of your craft, you've got to learn them first. There's room for everything in the theatre. I think there's still room for a drama or a comedy or a play about kitchen sinks or tramps or whatever. That's fine, providing they're good enough. But there's still room for a charming upper-middle-class family who have hearts and limbs and feel and think just the same as anybody else does, and even dukes and duchesses. There are still a few extant. The theatre still spells magic for many millions of people, and that magic should be a source of deep pride to all those who are privileged to serve in it. When I eventually write my book on the theatre, well, he often threatened to write his book on theatre, but never quite got around to it, except his opinions, as evidenced in his published writings, interviews, plays, stories, verse, lyrics, and other people's reminiscences over 60 years, add up to a book. This one. And I couldn't resist including some of his ironic asides. In addition to his many other talents, Noel was the master of sit-down comedy. His views on the medium were never formal and academic, like those, say, of Stanislavski or Strasbourg. Noel's, being both writer and performer, were more practical, pragmatic, and almost always delivered with an acceptable coating of wry wit. There was a certain public self-deprecation, flavoured with irony, that helped define him, endeared him to people, and made the medicine go down when what he had to say was critical. Writer, actor, often director, composer, lyricist. Who has ever combined all those talents and continued to do so in various combinations for the best part of 60 years? Shakespeare, if you insist, but I don't remember seeing reviews of him in cabaret, exhibitions of his paintings, and we'll never know what he would have made of film and television. And was he the celebrity during his lifetime that Noel became in his? He was a true Renaissance man, who just happened to live in the 20th century. In Noël Coward on and in theatre, I've simply assembled, arranged, and put into context what he had to say on such subjects as the nature of theatre, what it should and shouldn't be, on the art of acting and actors, on plays and playwriting, and on the people he met on the stage and behind it. And through it all, I hope you will hear the voice of the man they rightly called the Master. It was a title that, being English, he couldn't publicly acknowledge, so he turned it into a joke. Oh, you know the old saying, Jack of all trades, master of none. In that, at least, he was wrong. Chapter 1. Early Stages. But I heard the curtain going up.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?